Hey y'all, how we doing today? Today is May 31st, 2021. Obviously it's Memorial Day weekend. I don't get political on this channel, but again, if you do have a moment or two to at least say some things, reflect on today and what it actually means. Again, I love barbecues with the next person. I love White Claws and all that kind of good stuff. But please take a moment, thank those who are a veteran that they're not celebrating Memorial Day and that they're still with us. And then of course, think about the big one we're talking about this year with my friends and on my chat is 95% of the folks in the Vietnam Memorial are younger than I am. I'm not that old. So please take a few minutes today, think about it. If you see a veteran that you know or someone that you love, say thank you. And again, it's a very small thing, not to get political, but again, if that upsets you on any side of the aisle, leave. I don't really care. If you are new here, welcome. If you are a veteran here, thank you for your service. And again, if you are, a veteran of this channel who's been here a few times, welcome back. I'll show you technical analysis. Now again, every successful training plan or structure starts with risk management. From there you have your micro and macro movements. You have proper trading plans, goal setting, and of course the three analyses or analysis. Technical, which I'm going to talk about, fundamental, that's on you, and mental, that's also on you. This is all tied together by consistency. If you do all those kinds of things, you will see great gains in your portfolio and your education. I'm going to take all these applicable plays you can play tomorrow if you really wanted to with education and mix them together. Everyone else on YouTube does one or the other. I do both fairly well. I do have an education degree. I'm a practicing teacher. It bodes well for folks who follow me. If you enjoy this kind of content, this kind of conversations, kind of charting, subscribe to the bell notification. It does help get to new people. I don't really care about community size. I care about community culture. I'm kind of like the head coach of a team kind of thing. If you want to join in, great. If you don't, also great. No big deal. The Discord will have a few more spots open up for this month. Not a lot right now. It's pretty much full. I have 60 folks on the 7-day trial. If you're not already in, again, I'd expedite that and hit me up. If not, you're going to miss out on this month. For folks who want to join, again, 7-day trial, add me down below in the Discord box on Discord. Love to have you over there. Last thing I always say is that there's a lot of great people on YouTube, on different Discords, on different servers and websites. Please go follow them too. This is not supposed to be me as the best. Now when it comes to swing trading, I'm up there. But for day trading, scalping, crypto, long-term investment, go find some other people. Go get as much knowledge as possible. No one ever wrote an educational book or was a teacher to be like, I'm the one and only. It's not how that works, right? Mark Douglas has some great books. Richard Kiyosaki has some great books. Rainer Tao has great videos. Again, go watch them all, listen to them all. I'm just here to help. I have 7 great plays for tomorrow. Actually, is it 8? It's 8. I'm good at math. 8 great plays tomorrow. A few are tech. Should be a good week for tech. I think there's some other great ones in here as well. With that being said, let's get into it. So our first play is Apple. Okay. All right. Relax. I know I don't ever really call blue chips, but again, when blue chips do come to value, even I will have to get an eye on them. So this is our first one, Apple. You're probably like, where's the lines? I know you don't say that. Again, it's show business, baby. The same joke every day. Let's go. So we have a really good looking setup here. Let's go with our trend lines and our supports first. Again, our first support's fairly obvious right there. All right, look at it. Resistance. Consolidating resistance looks really good. It acts as a support. Then again, our first resistance is somewhere in there. I make my resistances orange. Again, old supports become previous resistances. All these kind of classic things we talk about. Our trend line, my head may be in the way, but what an obvious trend line. I mean, this is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Heading up here just like this. I make mine into channels because I can get more plays that way. I make them golden. I call it the golden channel. CC that, boys. We're going to copyright that. Can't take that from me. No, sir. Really good looking channel right here. Our volume profile is the last thing that I add. Watch this. Boom. Uh-oh, your boy's upgraded. Now, we can see the volume profile does coexist with the support really well. I'm going to move it then. Just to be fair, I'm going to move it down. Just because I have a better support area lower. And again, if it does break, because if I were to move it up, it wouldn't be in the channel. But if it does, the price does come down. The price does come down to the volume profile on the POC here and to the support. I'll put the support lower. Again, you can go either way if you wanted to. These two lines I'm going to highlight right here are the 70% volume lines. Inside here is where 70% of volume occurs. Is that good or bad? Well, it goes either way. What's important is that you watch my volume profile video and look more into it. It's like a 30-minute thing. I'm not going to talk about it right here, but again, that's what those mean. The last thing is the POC, this red shape right here, this little red column. This is beautiful, which you'll love to see. This is where most of the volume happens. This is going to be important for a lot of plays today. The POC has pros and cons with it. If you're above the POC, your pro is it's a very strong support. To break below that is quite rare and it's kind of hard. The negative is the POC will pull you down towards it like a gravitational force. Imagine like a planet, right? That's the Earth is the POC, the moon is the price. It wants to get gravitation pulled towards it. If you're above it, it pulls you down. Flip that if you're below it. If the POC is above you, to get above it's pretty hard. It's a very hard resistance, but it will pull you up towards it. So again, it goes both ways, good and bad. Depends on the setup. So there that is looking really good. We're going to review that study real quick, and here we go. Last thing we always do is put the name, because I am liable to forget what I'm talking about because I'm an idiot. And there we go, looking beautiful. Again, a resistance trend line to me has to have 3 hits, like a supporting trend line. I don't really see clearly 3 hits. Maybe that is it right there. That's probably a fine look right there. Sure, I mean, that's good. We'll keep that on there. So what we're going to do, because that's important, resistance trend lines are extremely important for mapping out your price targets, which my Discord folks get. You don't. Nuck. So there that is. We'll keep that on there. Boom, looking really good. Apple. Again, if you watched my sector rotation video this week, which I'm sure some of you guys did, you'll know that tech on the short term is a great play. It's really picking up some steam. A lot of these have lost structure, but Apple has structure. Now, if we do get a pullback to like 123, 122, beautiful. It breaks these resistances. There's no reason not to see maybe 4 or 5% run. Again, if you're bullish on Apple long term, hold on to it long term. But again, for a short term swing, if Apple does hit a good value, I love to play it. Let's check the indicators and see what it's doing. What's really cool about this channel, besides me, new kid, is that I do not check the indicators while I'm doing my show. There's absolutely no amount of me scanning with EMA lines on, RSI on. I would 100% do this with them turned off to show you live what I'm seeing. And again, that is amazing that you can actually go through and see what I'm seeing live. So again, let's go through these together real quick. So first things first is that we see that the 200 and the 50 EMA line are above it. You can see it's improperly stacked. Price 10, 50, 200. Usually you want to see price 10, 50, 200. The 10's not really a big deal at all, but the 50 and 200 are going to be resistances moving forward. You can see how it bounces off the 200 religiously, okay? Until we break above this, your short term, not long term, price target must be based near this. So again, if you want to make a short swing, 2.5% is probably what you're looking at. Is that the best for risk versus reward? No, it's about a 1.83 to 2.5. So again, it's not a great play. So again, if you're going to play Apple based off the EMA lines solely, you have to have faith it's going to break above them. If you don't play it. But again, I think if it does break above these, it's a great play. You want to wait for a crossover, which is fine. Wait for the price to get over the 200 and the 50 to buy into. Sure, wait for the pullback and then buy in. But again, the risk you're taking on will be higher until you do another plan based on those. And again, the reward will be lower if you do wait. RSI, it's where you want it. Maybe a little bit lower. You can see it probably 4 or 5 pips lower to be perfect, but again, it is low. Stochastic, it's -40. That's really good. There's no bearish divergences, no real bullish divergences either. It checks out, but it's -40. Once this curls north, once this blue line actually does one of these, comes down, curls north, north, east, southwest. Again, if it does curl north and goes above it, the blue line crosses the red line. That's a great sign of a confirmation of a move change. Bulls low, where you want them, bears high. Apple's a great pickup. And again, if you believe in tech short term, I like it. You believe in tech long term, I like it even more. Again, the only thing that's messing it up perfectly are the EMA lines. We can see again the 15-200 is above it. It's improperly stacked. It's inversely stacked. You want to have price 10, 50, 200. We have that opposite. Besides that, 10 out of 10 play at a smaller, cheaper price. I like it a lot. Next is ALSN transmission holding ALSN. What a gorgeous trend line. You can see it does break, so again, take it with a grain of salt. It has broken before. That is a small issue if you're going to be a pure technician, which I usually like to do. But again, when it comes to how conservative I am and how detailed I am in my picks, I can live with a small break. The support area, great. Again, keyword area. not a line. It's a good area. You have to draw your own. Yours could be higher. Yours could be lower. Yours could be exactly where mine's at. Again, it's a support area. The POC, again, look at this. It's like a planet going back and forth gravitationally. So again, we're below that. We should see a pull of 2 or 3% at least for a nice gain. If your worst case scenario for a trade is 2% gain, some of y'all would be in much better shape, now wouldn't you? ALSN, great support, great POC, great trend line up. Ascending triangles forming right here. Again, one swing down, one swing up, swing down, swing up, swing down. This is a beautiful ascending triangle setup. Again, will it come to fruition? No, I have no idea. But again, if it does do that, a full move, 10%, you're risking maybe 2, and then if it breaks lower lows, 3. So again, a 3-to-1, 4-to-1 kind of setup. I like it a lot. Let's check the indicators. Boom, I've upgraded and we're editing. Love that. ALSN, it bounces off the 200 beautifully. When it gets below the 200, you know you're at value. Your definition of value is depending on your charting and your own definition of what's a fair price. ALSN below the 200 has consistently been a fair value, or at least a good deal. You must determine that, but for me, fair deal right here. I think it could get a little bit lower. It does take, how long here? Below it took 8 days. Below it took 2 weeks. Below here it took 6 days. So we may be down here for a few days. Let's not freak out. It's only Monday. Maybe by Thursday or Friday, if it doesn't have a quick reversal, it'll be looking really good for a buy-in then. 50 may be a small resistance. Just be aware of that. RSI, low. Could be a bit lower, but again, right where you want it. No bearish divergences. That checks out. No real bullish divergences either, though. I mean, I guess you can consider this and down and this and up as one, but that's a pretty weak one. But again, negative 40, once it shows some life, it'll be good to go. Bulls could be a bit lower, but they are low. Bears are really overbought. ALSN, a great pick. Do your due diligence, but again, the trend line 200. Look at this this is a convergence. We're at fair value or a good deal below the 200. Trend line acts separate from the 200, so that's a good sign. Supports right here, another support down here. It looks really good. ALSN, at least watch list it. I do like it a lot. Next is I can read. Oh god, CTSO Corp. Hooked on Fox. Let's sponsor me because fuck, I need it. This is not Costco, which I thought it was before, but nope, it's this thing. CTSO, a great support area. What support plays? It's important to know. If you're going to play a support play that's a horizontal channel, you are giving up something to get something. Like all relationships in love are. Aw, you give to get. Social contracts. But this is definitely a great one for one reason. This support area is super strong. We can see that the CTSO, the support area, because it can get low. I mean, if it does hit 765, I'm not going to be shocked. Right? This support area is very low. What you're giving up, though, is a trend line. You're giving up that aspect of convergence to have clarity on the support area or zone. So again, there's no like trend line here, but that support area is delicioso. It's beautiful. So we can go back a year just to check. So you can see it's been down here for almost 8 months, looking fine. 10 years, it can get lower. Okay, it can get lower. So let's not be like, oh, this is rock bottom. No, rock bottom is closer to $4. So again, be very careful about that mindset. CTSO here, I'm not buying it. I think CTSO, I would definitely buy in closer to 790 down here. That's fine, because then your risk is what? You could probably risk 5 or 6% and be super confident. What I would do here, and this is a very pro strategy, at 790 is our first buy-in spot. I'll show you. So this is our first buy-in spot at 790. I would definitely put half my money. Let's say I have $1,000. Put $500 there. All right, if I like it. Okay, once you're there, that $500 in. This is not advice. This is a theoretical strategy. Do not do this. It's hypothetical, you idiots. So this is again just a strategy of buying in and scaling in. So 790, you put $500 on, or half what you want. The price then drops to 770. Down here, you put the other 500 in. Now your average is 780. This is a fine buy-in, because if you were to buy in here before, you're getting a good value compared to this area, but also you're only about 1% higher than here, right? So then your average is here. If it does just tank below all this, you've only lost half. Let's say you buy in 790 here and it shows life. Put the rest in at like 805 right here on a sign of confirmation and go up. Then your average is about 795. It's just fine. Again, so for plays like this with very little clarity, I would go for a scaling in kind of method. That's just me and my own opinion. It's not advice. If you sue me, you will lose in court because I have nothing that you want besides my cool shirts that everyone keeps asking me about. They're from Target. They're $10. It's okay. This one's from Banana Republic, though. Easy support play, enough rambling. Let's check the indicators. Off the bat, we can see that the 200 is going to be a problem. All right, 200 and the 50 will be problems moving forward, and especially also the 50 in the short term. Your short-term price target, let's say it goes on 790, it moves up to the 50, 5%, it may die. If so, take your profits and go home with your ball because you're not going to get above this. Once you clear the 50 and the 200, big move, big move, big move, big move, big move. So you want to wait, watch this for a crossover. Again, you can set a crossover alert. What goes over the 50 and 200, that's when you want to buy it. That's totally fine. This is a value play. 790 to 750, anywhere here. This is where it's probably going to reverse at. RSI, you want it lower. This is not bad. You want it a little bit lower, but again, where it's at currently, it spends more time than not north of where it is. So again, that's a fine sign. You want to see a little bit lower though. Stochastic, negative 40, curling north. Love to see it. You want to see a full move. If that's the case, you hopefully see a full move just like that. Over the 50, that'd be great. Retest the 50, keep going. That'd be my kind of play I want to play off of. No divergence, looks good. Bulls low, bears high. Everything's fine, but again with CTSO, no trend line, no true convergence, just going to be a support play. Where it reverses at, impossible to know, but again, you can play that pretty well with your buying strategies. I like it a lot. Next is EVR. What a glorious trend line. Is this a channel up? I would say probably not. You can see it only hits this channel top area twice, maybe 3 times, but again, it breaks it, so I can't consider that. It's not a channel up. But we can come over here and see that's probably some form of a wedge up right here. All right, it looks like it's wedging. Not good, not bad. Depends on your price target. If we can get in, let's say 145. It makes a good move of 4 or 5%, right about there. I'm getting ready to take my profit, figuring it out. There are plenty of times that wedging ups do break out and then come down. So I guess maybe 4 or 5% is going to be a good bar. You know, you're risking 1.6, makes it 3-to-1 kind of play. That's totally fine. The trend line's super easy to read. The support line's super easy to read. It's going nice and quickly up here. It is compressing for a big move. I'm sure, we can check the indicators, but I'm sure most will be right in the middle, probably at a fair value. Let's see. So off the bat, it breaks the 50 to show value. It rides the 50 to show fair value. So best one's beneath it. So I mean, hopefully we can get around 144. That'll be the best buy-in. If it breaks below the 50, you can then wait for a crossover back over it, which is fine. Or you wait for your definition of value and go off of that. Maybe it's near support area. That's to be determined. But again, above the 50, you're showing playing a good life. That's just fine. Oh, look it, it's right in the middle. Oh, look it, it's right in the middle. So again, it's consolidating for a big move. It's right in the middle. It's either going to break out up or it's going to break down low. This is a great case of when, and always, in my opinion, you need a stop loss. If this does break down the wrong way, don't get caught. Not my house. Stochastic, it's not a divergence. It looks perfect to me, but it is making somewhat of a triangle here, which again, I don't really take stochastic patterns into consideration that much, but again, a triangle is forming, so be careful for a big move. Bulls could be a little bit lower, but they're low. Bears are high. So again, EVR, a perfect play. You get a good value. It makes one big move up, hits that resistance. Instead of it being a wedge, hopefully it actually is a ascending triangle. It breaks out, and then you can ride it up, sail towards the top, rebuy in towards the bottom. EVR, I like it a lot. Next is LPG. What a glorious setup. Now this trend line's a bit harder to tell. You could probably come from like over in this area and come sideways, and you can see this is probably a fine line as well. So you may have more room to drop, like 4 or 5% easily to drop down, but we can see it's showing some life here. All right, so this is going to be a hard play right here. What we have currently is no man's land. Have you ever watched those WW2 movies with trench warfare and WW1 movies? We're currently in between both trenches, right? We have our orange line, or the enemy trench, I guess, and then the white line, which is the ally trenches, I guess. We're in the middle. We're right in the middle of both of them, right? So buying here is much more of a gamble for risk management than would be buying towards 14. If it does drop to 14, well, now we have a support area to play off of, right? Anywhere from 14 to 1380 is a fine support area, right? That's going to mitigate our risk. It drops down 3%. It breaks everything. We get out. If it does go long here, right, that's great. But again, your reward is 1.98. Your risk is 1.78. That's a no-no. We don't like that. On the 3-to-1, at least a 2-to-1 for a first move or at least a small move. We don't have that here. So LPG, a great setup. We'll put the indicators. If we have an EMA line above to cross or an EMA line below holding us, that may change the narrative. But until we have a small pullback, I'm not as into it. If it does go up tomorrow, possible day trade candidate. But again, I gotta see the indicators real quick. So we can see beautifully the 50 has given us a great sign of life. Now your value, you want to wait for value. The 200 is going to be optimal. Now it does hit it, once every month. So again, we just hit that. It's only been 9 days. You're probably not going to see the 200 bounce for at least another 3 weeks. So again, why wait for that? But the 50 is what we're looking at. All right, this is, wow, look at that. What great charting. Wow, this is what you pay premium dollars for right here. But the 50 is what we're looking at. If it breaks below and holds below, which it currently is the 50, we're going to wait. Wait. So if it does come down and it breaks the 50, that's fine. Now we look for our definition of value to buy into. If it shows life tomorrow and the first 4-hour candle is green and it's like one of these bad boys and it holds above the 50, the 50 is like this and it holds, then you can play off the 50. Then you move your stop loss up to probably like 14.10. Your take profits probably close to the volume profile line. You let that bad boy run. So again, the 50 is giving us a good insight. It stays above the 50, we can buy in. If it breaks below and goes lower, we just wait like patient little bears. The RSI, it's fair. It had a big move up, but again, it could be lower. This is fine though. The stochastic's coming up. That's fine. We have a confirmation that bulls are winning currently. That's fine. LPG, the play according to the indicators is going to be a break above the 50. Hits resistances, retests, and then takes off. That's probably what the play is going to be here. LPG, I like it, but give it to at least tomorrow throughout the day to see what it's doing first before you make your real decision. NLSN, Nielsen Holdings, looks just like LPG and EVR, but a little bit less intense it looks like. This is a really nice pickup. It has huge runs. I'm sure the EMA lines are going to be in here somewhere helping us out, but we'll write a value. Beautiful value. Now, you would have hoped that the red one were to come down to here and would have pushed it lower, but this is fine. A worst case scenario, 3% is going to be lost, 3.5%. That's fine. You're going to make at least 3.5%, 1-to-1 for a first move. Not terrible. It could be a little bit better, but again, our mindset isn't to buy here and sell here. Our mindset is to buy here and hopefully sell up here on a full move as it keeps going up. It has the history of doing this. Big move, pullback, consolidates. Big move, pullback, consolidates, big move, right? Pullback, consolidate, big move, pullback, consolidate. So it's currently consolidating. We'll see where the EMA lines are and all that kind of stuff. But again, based off price action alone, a very nice looking deal here. We can see with the indicators turned on, it's holding above the 50. So here we go. You can use the 50 in this area. Again, it breaks below 2.5%, 3%. You can get rid of it and then buy in lower, like probably closer to like 26.20. Or 26.30 if you have to. But again, the 50 is going to be a great sign of value. Until we break below that, we don't have great value. We just have a good value. But look at it. It likes to bounce off the 50 religiously. Boop, 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 ba-doop, boop, ba-doop. And we're right there again. So again, it did show some life. You can probably buy in here and be confident because you put your stop loss like 26.90, 26.75 in my opinion. And then you should be just fine. Stochastic, RSI, Vortex could all be a little bit lower. It's definitely overbought compared to previous price action. But again, we're going off the 50 and the support area. It looks fine. I think it's going to be a smaller gainer compared to some other ones. But I do like this play a lot. Looks really good. I'd at least watch list and see what it does this week. Next is PPC. Yeah, PPC. Yeah, you know me. Oh. Not the lyrics. PPC looks really good for a trend line here. Huge ascension, consolidation. Huge ascension, consolidation. So again, we're trying to see what we're going to get for a big move here. It gets choppy. Bump, 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 bump. Because the POC is gravitational. Pulls it up, pulls it down, pulls it up, pulls it down, pulls it up, pulls it down. Boom, boom, boom. So again, hopefully you'll see at least a 2% move. I mean, and again, some of you are like, oh, don't even wake out of bed for 2%. I want to buy Dogecoin. Shut up. The worst case of this kind of play going your way is 2% positive. That's the worst case usually. That's a good worst case for some of you. So again, you want to buy it lower, but again, it's a great support area anywhere in here. It moves all the way up, 2, 3, 4%. Maybe you get a big move of 5 or 6%, a nice big move here. Super easy read, and of course, maybe we'll capture one of these bad boys. Okay, I did the same thing over here. Look, I did the same exact thing over here. Up. Look at the same exact thing over here. Big move, back and forth, big move, back and forth, took off. Right, if we can get one of these big moves, takeoffs, we'll be in good shape. PPC, easy technical read. Let's check these indicators real quick. Boom, no edits needed. I'm loving it. Ooh. Ooh. Ah, that's tasty. Look at this 200 EMA line play. Bounce, 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 bounce. And we're getting close to it. So again, according to the EMA lines, we're kind of in no man's land. But again, we're so close to the 200. This in itself has given us a great risk management policy. It breaks all of this, including the 200. 2.7%. It breaks all this and it holds. We get rid of it. So again, not very risky at all. Wait, take the extra 5 seconds to do these kinds of things. It breaks the 50. Now we're going to get a nice big move if it does hold. And again, I don't put too much weight in the 50 up here. But if it does hold above it, that's a great sign. You put your take profit below the 50. Let that bad boy run. You know, RSI, perfect. Stock, that low, perfect. Bulls low, perfect. Bears high, perfect. Besides the fact that's pretty overbought on the larger time frame, that's like all the way up here. But again, many plays do this for months and years and just consolidate. So PPC looks really good. Watch list it. Let's see what it does tomorrow. If it makes a big move up tomorrow, I'm not going to be surprised. It should be a really good move, I think. We'll see. No guarantees. Could be good. Last but not least is VGR. I call it VGR over here. I said it looks pretty good, and it made that nice move right there. That was delicious. We're back down here again. So we have two options. As you can see, I have two lines. This dotted yellow line has lived once. Boom. Once. Barely twice, but this also did tap down here in a weird call, but twice. And again, maybe 3 times. Your best value has come consistently lower. But down this low, I'd say probably right about here is where it'll come down to. There's not much support. Now, I mean, there's this, and there's this. So they're pretty close. But again, this support area has held true for a long time. So I like this buying spot. All right, worst case scenario, 4%'s gone. If you don't trust this area, that's fine. A good move will net you about 8%. 2 to 1. So again, I like it. Vector Group, VGR, I want to buy it no more than 1360. That's my thing. I want it about 1360. Anywhere about here, I'm happy with. If it does this tomorrow, I'm not going to be upset because it didn't hit my criteria. It does have a history of consolidating down here for a few days. Let's not get hasty. But VGR, watch list this. This thing has a continued sell-off, 3 or 4% lower. You can't beat this. I mean, it comes down to like 1333, and all this support area right about here lines up with it. that'll be a hell of a good play. But that's going to be a big if. And again, it does consolidate. There's a chance it consolidates like this for a few weeks until this line gets closer, then it takes off again. VGR, already a good deal, already a technical beauty. But again, I got to see some life or better value. I already know the EMA lines are going to be right there. I already know the 200. Yep, that plays before. 200's right there. Also, I'm calling it. It bounces off the 200 religiously. If it holds the 200 in the support area, let's say tomorrow I get a little baby like this, like a little baby one, okay? I'll be confident. I'll be confident to buy in here and ride up 4 or 5% and put trading stop loss. The 200, that's going to be a saving grace for convergence right here. You know, RSI, it's low. Stock, it's low. Bulls low. Bears high. No divergences that are going to be worrisome here. It looks really good. VGR, watch list it. It has a lot of huge potential in my opinion. There you guys have it. 8 great plays. If you haven't already, I don't really personally care, but if you want to know what the sectors are doing, watch that video from Saturday. It'll be wildly helpful to you to see what I see. Otherwise, have a good rest of Memorial Day. Again, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Today should be a day of relaxing, but again, reflection should be the word of the day. Reflect on what you got, reflect on who you got, reflect that, you know, some folks before you may not agree with them fully, and nor should you, but folks before you helped you get here, whether you want to admit it or not. Right, so it's a happy Memorial Day to y'all. I don't know if that's really appropriate. I don't want to be rude, but again, I hope it is a happy and safe holiday for you guys. Have a good rest of your Monday. We'll see you guys tomorrow for June 1st. It's going to be an interesting month. It's probably one of the slowest months in the stock market there is. So gear up for that, buddy boy. Otherwise, have a good rest of your Monday. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks.